Oh, hello. Did you guys know that what you eat can have a massive impact on how you feel? If you haven't watched my first video, I'm Rebecca and I'm a former psychiatric nurse and I have experienced depression myself. Through my whole experience, I've come to believe that depression can definitely be cured. I want to tell you a little bit about my experience with nutrition and how that has impacted my depression. And then I wanted to give you some tips and tricks and some actual research backing up what I've personally experienced.
So way back when I was 5, my dad committed suicide and I was having stomach problems like all the time. My stomach would just hurt. I would wake up in the middle of the night and it would just be so painful. My mom took me to the hospital to see what was going on. They had me drink a disgusting drink. I still remember it was so nasty. And then they took an x-ray while I swallowed it. They found nothing wrong, and into my adult life, I was still having these stomach issues. It was nothing excruciating or debilitating or something I couldn't live with. Soon I just realized that other people didn't have to deal with the same stuff I was dealing with, but it was nothing like too bad. So I ended up taking one of those saliva like at-home tests to see if I was sensitive to anything, and I think it tested for gluten, dairy, and alcohol, and maybe a couple other things. But anyway, it came back. It said I processed everything, my body processed everything perfectly fine. So that was a dead end. My husband and I moved to this area and I found a place called Women's Nutritional Health Center. I was a nurse at this time and this is a little alternative medicine, kind of new agey. They do something called nutritional response testing. It worked for tons of people and it ended up working for me too. But if you do go and you search it on YouTube, it is kind of funky if you're in the medical field especially. They told me that I was sensitive to gluten. And so at this time, I was feeling not depressed. I was not experiencing depression, but I did have some leftover of like, I don't really feel like myself. I feel like I could feel better. I just don't know what it is. I don't know what I'm missing, that kind of stuff. So here's the short story. They told me I was sensitive to gluten. I tried getting rid of it. And after about a month, I saw drastic changes. Being about 2 years off of it, it has drastically improved my way of life, my health, my stomach problems are completely gone. And that was clearly what I was sensitive to, probably since I was little. Any depression, lingering feelings that I could be happier went away. Still to this day, when I eat gluten, I'll either get some bad stomach problems or the next day I'll kind of feel, not full on depression, I would not say that, but just having a bad day. I'll most likely have a bad day if I eat gluten the next day.
Do I think getting rid of gluten was the sole thing that got rid of my depression completely? Maybe not. There was a ton of other factors in my life at the time, a bunch of other changes that may have impacted how I was feeling, of course. But I will say that I think gluten is a massive, massive contributor because even when I eat it to this day, I still feel off the next day. I kind of want to save you guys some time and some money after doing the saliva test, going to this nutritional health center. I want to just let you know that gluten is not good for you. And that includes wheat. The videos I watched, what it seemed like they were saying was gluten can be harmful to some people. What I'm here to tell you is that there's no reason your body needs gluten. It's no way going to benefit you positively. So you should try cutting it out if it's something you're willing to do. A great book to read if you're interested is Wheat Belly, and another one is Grain Brain, and really highlight the unhealthiness of gluten and wheat and the dangers even. And I can link some actual research in the description as well. So after all this, do I believe that a good diet can cure depression? Actually, yes, definitely. For a certain group of people, I do believe that it's possible that a good diet can completely cure depression. A lot of times the problem with these videos on YouTube and this stuff that you'll just research that's entertaining to watch is they're so specific. They say eat these things, don't eat these things, and it's a very stringent type of diet to follow potentially. I want to tell you that most of the time you know what's bad and you know what's good. Let's just go over quickly. I don't want to get too far into the specifics because there's so many videos that do that, but what's bad and what's good. So what's bad? In my opinion, I would just cut out gluten no matter who you are. I think that's always a good idea. Of course, your body could be sensitive to dairy, alcohol, other things like that. Alcohol is one I would personally cut out as well. The other things that's just universally bad, fast food, sugar, the excessive carbohydrates that Americans are eating. Definitely carbs are fine, and I have known people that gone on keto diet and they have definitely reported a significant increase in their mental health. But just limiting carbohydrates, a little bit. The ratio of carbohydrates to vegetables and meat that Americans eat is way out of whack. We should just be adjusting that a little bit, most likely for everybody. Okay, so we know we're limiting sugar, fast food, carbs as much as you can that add no nutritional value to your diet. So now what's good? Definitely vegetables. Dark leafy green vegetables will clean out your liver, will detox your body, and that's always great. Something that's a little bit unknown, I would say, are fatty meats. Fatty meats are actually not bad for you. There's plenty of research that cholesterol is actually not as bad as we once thought. I will link some research down below on this as well. I listened to one doctor that explained it really interesting. There's been a bunch of research done on cholesterol, and doctors insinuated that because when a person had a heart attack, there was a bunch of cholesterol on the scene, that cholesterol was a contributing factor in that heart attack or heart malfunction. And he stated that it'd be like aliens looking down at Earth and seeing fire trucks always at the scene of a fire and inferring that those fire trucks were the cause of the fire. So saying this, there is a difference between quality of meats. There's grass-fed meat, and then there's the meat you get from McDonald's. There's also been research showing that people with high cholesterol actually live longer than people with low cholesterol. The main problem is the older research does not differentiate between quality of meats. There's a huge difference between the hamburger you're eating at McDonald's and grass-fed steak. Also, if you're eating that hamburger with a gluten-filled bun with a sugary Coke with a bunch of fries filled with omega-6s, which is the bad kind of fat, that's going to skew the results a tad. The fatty meats, the good steak, the chicken, the vegetables, broccoli, kale, spinach, all that stuff, that's what you should be filling your diet with mainly. Fruits are usually included in this category of what's good, but you don't actually need fruits. There's a lot of great vitamins and minerals in fruits, and I still eat fruits occasionally, but it definitely shouldn't be the bulk of your diet, and you definitely should be including way more vegetables than fruits. And I promise you, after eating differently for a month, McDonald's or Taco Bell or KFC is gonna sound nasty to you. It's just usually nobody makes it that long. A month is a long time to change something in your life. So I hope that was helpful to you guys. I did not want to bog you down with the research because there's a ton out there. If you have any questions on something specific that I said, or you are a research person and you want that research, email me at depressionanddealing@gmail.com. It's in the description, and I will send that to you. I will find it and I will send you whatever you need to make the changes in your life that's going to help your mental health. And as always, if you need anything else, let me know. My email's in the description. And go watch my first video if you haven't to know a little bit more about me and my story. And until next time, enjoy your meals, enjoy that broccoli or the carrot.